Really need them now?
I need them, yes, absolutely.
The Rio Grande Valley Border Patrol Chief Manuel Padilla Jr., Rio Grande Valley sector, answering some of our questions on the deployment of National Guard members to the Texas-Mexico border. As we reported, 250 Guard members were ordered to the border on Friday. Chief Padilla says the troops are welcome and needed along this part of the border. Channel 5's Carolina Cruz in our studio right now, and she's here to explain the reason why a Border Patrol says they could use the help. Carolina?
Yeah, Oscar, March marked a peak in apprehensions, and we're still not at 2014 record levels, but the steep increase this past month is causing concern for Border Patrol. They claim their assets can only do so much. About half of those entering the country are family units and unaccompanied minors. The other half is legitimate traffic of people evading arrest. The pattern in border activity is like water flowing. It comes in waves and varies by season. Just a year ago, the southwest border hit record lows in apprehensions. The trend flipped this year compared to last.
The effect of that is it's a depletion of manpower because agents now have to go in to process these masses of family units and unaccompanied children, which leads to smugglers exploiting areas, making our areas more vulnerable because we have a depletion of manpower in the field.
This is why Chief Manuel Padilla Jr. welcomes additional men and women to help agents monitor activity along the river.
The whole purpose of the National Guard deployment to the border is really a stopgap measure until we build enough capability to address the border insecurity, I'll call it right now, for our sector.
He used the word insecurity when referring to the Rio Grande Valley sector because it accounts for 42% of all marijuana seized along the southwest border and 40% of all apprehensions. Keep in mind, half of those apprehensions are groups actively seeking agents once they cross the border into the U.S.
We're not necessarily apprehending these family units and unaccompanied children. In a sense, they're kind of apprehending us because they're looking for the first Border Patrol agent to turn themselves into. They're not attempting to evade arrest.
Just last Friday, agents came across two separate groups who entered the country illegally, a group of 75 and another of 37. All were unaccompanied children or family units. More agents need to respond to large groups seeking asylum because agents have to process paperwork and run background checks.
You really don't know who you're encountering. We know that they're family units and unaccompanied children coming in, but you don't know who's mixed in that group.
Rodriguez says on occasion, agents discovered criminals such as sex offenders and gang members traveling among the pack.
We need that help. When the National Guard comes in, we look at expanding, first of all, situational awareness, knowing what's happening along our border, and then secondly, being our eyes and ears for us, for agents being able to respond to whatever they're seeing.
Chief Padilla wants the additional technology and aerial surveillance in the form of more eyes patrolling the border, guarding activity like this. Some disagree with the presence of the National Guard members patrolling the border. The military personnel only serve as eyes and manpower. They do not serve as law enforcement. Some say they'd rather see more Border Patrol agents on the front line. Reporting live in the studio, Carolina Cruz, Channel 5 News at 6.